Where were you? I was in the tower. I was on the 99th floor, and I saw the plane coming, and I said, we better start running downstairs now. And I saved everybody's life on the 99th floor. Look it up. And then, funny story, I saw this woman there, right? She was a temp that day, and she was in the south, northwest, east tower, working for, Capital One or something. And turns out she's my wife now, so pretty crazy story. And then I had a little voice that said, hey, stay and help. And I listened to that little voice. It was my great grandfather from the grave. I just saw his face and he said, stay and help. And I said, okay, great father, not great father, because all my grandfathers are great, so I call them great fathers. And I said, okay, great father. And I stayed. And I
helped. And I said to all the first responders, that I was the most helpful one out of everybody that stayed and helped all the first responders.
They said I was the most helpful one out of all of it. And I got actually awarded the most helpful non-first responder, Good Samaritan type of thing. I turned the award down. I said no thanks. They all wanted to take pictures of me, and they all all the firemen, we were all palling around and stuff like that. And they lifted me up on their shoulder, and we took a bunch of pictures, videos, everything. And I said, you know what? I don't need the credit. You guys are the real heroes now here, Don't make me a part of this. Just don't get me in the pictures. And they respected my wishes, and that's why there's no pictures and actual evidence of me being the most helpful one. But I was there, and that was true. I don't need the whole evidence of it or whatever to be out there. So, and if you ask yeah, I'm not on the register as being on the 99th floor, but that's because I was supposed to be out that day. I was a temp, filling in for a temp, so they don't even have me on the record. That's why I'm not on the... That's why you probably can't... don't go looking for me, because I don't think you're going to find me. But, I was up there, and I did save the whole floor, even though, Well, I saved a lot of people. I don't know if it was the whole, The records are messed up because of the whole, it was a tragedy and all that. But trust me, I was, they'll love me. I mean, they love me there. They were like, can you help more? And I was like, no, I got to go, help my family and other people. I don't want to, take up your guys' time. And they let me go help other people. And that's what you do.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to A Guider's Room, where we discuss the current happenings of the day and the week. Every week here, we fight the good fight.
Sorry about the little pause there and starting. I forgot I did not have my second coffee of the day yet, actually, even though it's pretty late. I forgot. I always have the second cup in the afternoon. Looks like I forgot. And I was like, why am I so
out of energy, and it turns out I didn't have my second cup of tea. Just kidding. I'm an American, so I don't drink. So I'm a coffee guy. Yeah, so well, I don't know what I wanted to start out with, but
Welcome to a
guy in Israel on February 19th. Although it's gonna technically these come out every Wednesday, but I do stream it before Wednesday now because it's like having both a live video and not a live video, or I mean podcast. I mean, I record them live on video, and then it goes on audio for podcast format. And there's edited. In case you want to, my like British voice is now like half Australian, and it's like Brit-Stralian. It's like terrible. But you know what? That's okay. I just think it's funny to do the British newscaster voice is like way more exaggerated than the American one. I mean, the American ones still do that, but like the British ones really take the cake. And I also realized I did not have my effects going through. My audio effects were not going through on YouTube. So the past like I don't know how many weeks now, you guys on YouTube have been missing out. And here I thought I was like playing effects and stuff. Like a lot of those segments don't make sense now. Or I guess they make sense, but just like, last week I did a radio guy voice like with like distortion on, and now like I don't think you would have heard that, yo. But anyway,
Happy President's Day, everybody. It is President's Day. Here in the States. It's President's Day. As a professional streamer like me,
you have to know things like
that
that.
if you're a professional streamer. Just kidding, I'm not. But if you're just tuning in, maybe I am. You guys don't know. I'm gonna pretend I'm a I get paid for this, guys. Well, they say like sometimes if you believe in the
Law of attraction, speak it into its existence, So that's what I'm doing. So this happened like last week, but I wanted to kind of start off with this story here. I don't know. I don't really have my layout. Oh yeah, that's right. I had my I'm a little too big, I think. If I make myself a little smaller. If I make myself a little bit smaller. Not like my penis. That would be much, much bigger, according to what she said. I wonder if they say that over in UK. Do they say that's what she said there? See, I'm so bad. Like I'm really doing Australian and British, and I'm like one of my, because like Australian people they'll say like over there, and now I'm doing that when I'm trying to do a British thing. So I'm really bad. Don't ever take my impressions seriously or whatever you can call them accents. I never am trying to seriously do an impression, guys. Like I don't actually go around saying I can do a British guy. You ever made somebody like that's like girls will like some girl once was like, yeah, me and my friends will always do British accents to like troll to like as a joke to people. I'm like, yeah, that's not even that funny. They'll just think you're British. What's the big deal? Hello. But yeah, maybe I should brush up and so I can not do the Australian if I'm trying to do a British thing. But anyway, so Oh, I usually do it. See how professional I am, guys? A piece of shit. I know I am. That's why you come here. To see terrible shit. Um. Here. Interesting news here today as 2 male subway surfers, which, by the way, the fact that they're calling them that is not, like, good. Now, I've talked about the subway surfing before. We all know about the subway surfers. It's a viral trend for absolutely brain dead young people to do. Now, it started with a game, this app game, whatever, this mobile game that people play on their phone called Subway Surfers. I think I actually played that game, and I didn't realize at the time that it was that one. This was years ago, too, like, maybe when I first had I don't think it's a new game. I'm going to look that up because I swear I played it, like, years back when I was living in Philly or something. Yeah, see, 2012 mobile game. So, yeah, it's been out for a fucking long time. It was released in 2012. I might have had it when I used my iPad Touch. Like, before I got it, like, okay, this music doesn't... I really waited to get a, like, good smartphone. Like, I didn't get an iPhone or even anything like that for a while, and I basically just used an iPad. Or, an iPod at home for, like, the cool stuff, like, and I just had, like, a flip style phone for a while that like, really sucked and then after a while, it was like, all right, I'm really kind of, I have to kind of get a new phone at least to see what it's like. And then I've been addicted ever since, and I probably should go back to getting a flip phone again. Maybe if I didn't live in, like, New York, living in New York, and not having Google Maps at all times would be pretty stupid. I guess I could just have a subway. No, you know what? There's too many changes all the time. But I guess people that used to live here years back, decades back, they didn't have, they didn't have these smartphones like you kids got. We were New Yorkers. So yeah, this is just I had this, like, probably 2016, 2014 even. I don't even know how I got it. I just saw it on there and I just started playing. So I played it way before recently people are really trying to subway surf. Like, I never would back then, playing this stupid game, there's no way I would have predicted kids would do that one day. I don't know. I just can't believe people are doing that. But anyway, I've talked about subway surfing before because it's happened here a bunch of times. Mostly young people under, like, 20. Are doing it. So this is pretty funny. Like, I guess they're okay, these two guys, but, like, 2 male subway surfers are caught having sex on top of moving NYC train while not. See, I went into an Australia. While another films them. 2 men. I was just stick with the Aussie accent. Okay, how about that? 2 men were captured having sex on top of a subway train on Friday. They dropped their pants on the roof. All right, no accent anymore. It's like I'm having a bad trip where I can't stop doing accents and they're all bad. Stop doing accents and I can't. It's like a nightmare. You know these subway surfers? Email Emma Richter. So 2 men were captured having sex on top of a subway train on Friday. So here's the picture. Here's the picture, guys. You know what? This should have been my thumbnail. Just me looking at these. Would that get banned? Would I get in trouble for this? No, I can't zoom in. What? There, that should have been my thumbnail. Maybe I'll go back and retroactively change my thumbnail to that. 2 men were seen having sex on top of a 7 subway train. 7, by the way, goes to... It's in New York. The 7, yeah, it's not the longest one, I don't think. So I don't know how long they were on the train. It looks like they're over a bridge here. Yeah, this is pretty... The men are seen facing each other when one stood tall and the other squatted. A third man watches the cheeky show. Was he with them, though? So they're just literally having butt sex. I mean, you assume they are, unless it's just a gag and they're pretending to have... I mean, it looks like... That's the thing, you're like, alright, I'm gonna... that's not... What's this? 8 people subway surf. When was this? I don't know, it doesn't really say. Here's 8 people here, all subway surfing. Okay, see, it's not going that fast there. But I mean, still, you could die easily. One man in a dark hoodie is seen with his pants down, his bare buttocks clearly visible to onlookers, as he holds the other man from behind. And then a third man, which who knows if he was... I don't know, like... So, yeah, then it goes into this old story about a guy who fell off, a 14-year-old kid who fell off the train. Got kids... This is the thing, like, I keep thinking, it's like, the fact that we need to tell kids now, hey, don't, by the way, kids, don't, run across a moving train on the top of one, like you're in Mission Impossible. Only Ethan Hunt can do that. Hello, Mr. Hunt. You have a brother named Mike? Get it? So yeah, that was interesting. That was a pretty funny, I guess, story. But what if they died too? They just had just say anal and then they're like dead. I guess that's one way to go out, am I right? That's like a bad a comic goes up and talks about this. You guys see this? That's one way to go out, am I right? I keep forgetting to tell like people to... Well, there's 2 people that could watch me stream this live, and like the one I just gave up on because he's always busy. He's a piece of shit. See, sometimes it'll show someone that someone's viewing this, but then I feel like it's just me because I clicked on the tab. Oh, I just saw this interesting story here. Gotta go back to the news segment again. Disembodied leg found on New York City subway tracks sparks gruesome mystery. So there was just a leg just on the tracks between 2 Bronx subway stations. Way up there between 167th Street. See, that's way up there. People, if you see anything past like 100th Street, that's way up in the Bronx. The Badlands. No. Alright, I guess there's not much to this story. I guess maybe I'll just check to see if there's any other news while I'm in the news mode. Migrants in New York. Boy Meets World actors detail alleged grooming by guest star. What the fuck? I don't know. I'm starting to think just... I don't know. Some of these whenever, like I said before once, I think, whenever there's a star that's like, seems like they're underage or is underage, I'm always like, I don't know about that. They shouldn't be allowed to be actors if they're underage, because I know there's something going on that's like this kind of story. Premiumbeat.com. What the fuck? The men and the castmates discuss the difficult subjects of grooming, childhood sexual abuse, and whatever. So this guy was convicted of sexually abusing an unknown childhood or Nickelodeon actor in 2004. Wait, I might have heard of this guy. Yeah, because it was remember the Nickelodeon stuff? Well, there was that Dan guy, and then there was like, I think I might have seen this guy come up somewhere before. Allegedly, he infiltrated the lives of the Boy Meets World stars in inappropriate ways during and after he appeared on the show in season 5, which aired from October 1997 until May 1998. I didn't really go to parties. I didn't do that stuff. Oh, that's the actor. This is the type of thing where the person he presented with this great funny guy who was really good at his job and you wanted to hang out with. I saw him every day, hung out with him every day, etc. Said he and Peck, who is the pedo guy, eventually hung out all the time despite a 20-year age gap. Oh, that's not weird, guys. The other adults said, who maybe could have or should have said, why are you guys going to lunch with this guy? Why is this guy going to Ryder's house for a party? Nobody said anything. They didn't, surmising that any adults involved were hesitant to say anything because Peck is gay. Not doing any favors to the gay community there. And they didn't want to be seen as homophobic. That was probably a part of them that didn't say it because they were afraid it was going to be taken as homophobia. Instead of, this is the boundary, gay or not. This is the boundary between adults and kids. Entertainment news. It's like light entertainment news over this. Music, I mean. Okay, so this guy was gay and they all somehow knew he was gay back then. And that made no one, like, that is like a weird thing that happens now. Like, it happened. People did call out Kevin Spacey, but that's kind of it. Like, there has to be a ton of this going on with gay actors or, you know, former issues that never came out. Kevin Spacey is the only one I can think of that is a gay actor that had Me Too stuff. All right, so I guess like this doesn't sound that it doesn't sound like anything happened though. It just sounds like like the guy was kind of I don't know, hanging out with him. That something could have happened because he was busted for whatever else later. Interesting. Well, I guess like, I mean, he got busted for something else, so they were. It sounds like they're just saying he could have been grooming us. I don't know. It doesn't sound like he did anything. What else is going on here, guys? What else is going on? Yeah, inflation is bad. You guys hear this inflation? I mean, all right, nothing really I want to talk about else going on. I mean, fingerprints aren't matching on my phone. Oh, this stuff. I think I might have talked about this article. But, I think I talked about, the Film Threat channel. They're a movie and TV show review channel. They're basically like critics, like how Roger Ebert used to be, but they're like against woke stuff, and they're pretty much like common sense and speaking out against the corporate woke bullshit in Hollywood and everywhere. And a lot of channels on YouTube are doing that, and a lot of, but a lot of those aren't really doing anything like meaningful. But this films that are actually now writing about insider stuff, like exposing, kind of doing exposés, even though everybody that they talk to is like afraid to go on record and they're all anonymous. I still want to talk about it. Okay. 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 I want to talk about it. I want to talk. You got a problem with that? You got a problem with that? You got a problem with that?
You got a problem with that? You're gonna have to fight me, okay? I'm a big guy. I'm a tough guy. You're gonna have to fucking fight me, bitch. Bitch.
Yeah, so they've been doing this series called the D-Files.
Oh, the D files, not the dick files, by the way. You might be thinking that because you have a bad potty brain, you have a locker room. That's all you want to think about is dick. But guess what? It's not that. It's Disney files. Not like pedophiles.
Yeah, so this is part 3. I didn't really talk about the first 2 parts, though. I don't even know if I read those, but so I guess, like, I think it's cool that they're actually writing about all this stuff because, like I said, a lot of those other channels that are like them aren't doing anything like that. So they talk about how like Disney is like terrible now, and like, well, the animation. They said like animation in the U.S. is like a dead industry now because some of this though is pretty great stuff. Hold on a second, I have to get more coffee, but I'll be back in a second. All right. But yeah, basically now promoting their site here. This is their site, Film Thread. Look up the D-Files. This is the D-Files Part 3 here. Let me zoom in, I guess. Let me zoom in. So like, okay, it says they wanted to hire a bunch of women. You know, not saying that's a bad thing, just like that becomes a the sole focus was all these like, oh, we're gonna be diverse. Like that was clearly what's going on. Oh, here's what happened. Here's what this guy says. And again, this is according to a bunch of sources that actually work for Disney. You can see their video. Maybe I'll put a link to their video explain or end this article in this video. But here it says here, instead of hiring formally trained artists from traditional institutions, Disney, with the help of Women in Animation, which is a group, I guess, or organization, explicitly recruited from social media sites, including Tumblr and Reddit. A fact confirmed. So that's like, I mean, insane to me because they literally then just hired people doing fan art, which is what he was saying in the video I watched. And he's saying here, like, Tumblr isn't a bad thing, but and you know, you can have your portfolio on there, but what mattered was that your social media profile checked the right boxes, i.e., female and not white. Today, that box has been revised to female presenting. One of their sources said it didn't matter what your experience was, as long as your stuff looked good. You can work for Disney or Paramount, DreamWorks, etc. Another source noted that Tumblr was unequivocally the base for new talent. Oh my God. So women from the social media site were scooped up and placed on Raya and the Last Dragon. I haven't even heard of that movie. Talent was now an afterthought. It was more important that these women could pad the quotas and become foot soldiers for the cause of DEI. Once in, the activists were asked for referrals, so then they hired their friends, which became friend squads, which quickly created a powerful contingent, not just at Disney. The existence of these squads led to radical changes in long-held Disney traditions of animation. The majority of the newly hired Tumblr talent was self-taught, which isn't a bad thing, but the problem is Tumblr is not art college and will not give you the proper training required to grow. The Tumblr artists are constantly affirmed by fellow Tumblr artists, which breeds a level of narcissism and bad habit. Yeah, all social media does that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, constructive. See, there's no, like, that's the thing with social media. Nobody's actually constructively or criticizing at all. All everybody does is like and go, "Oh my God, you're amazing." Like, that's all they do. If somebody gets any kind of criticism, they're called a hater or they're blocked, you know? I mean, that's how, because, like, yeah, and I get why that is, because why would you want to be attacked with everything you post online, I guess? You don't want a constant feed of negativity, I guess, but also, like, yeah, you can't actually post art on social media and then expect to, you know. Um, so you couldn't really criticize because of all these friend squads. Disney was more than ready to hire influencers than a reserve person with actual talent. So oh my God. They were hiring people with a following on social media instead of people that actually knew what they were doing. Unfortunately, Disney gave these influencers too much credit to actually even bring in new fan bases, which they thought, okay, they thought they would bring in a new fan base, but they didn't. So the new staff didn't even know, like, what Disney's work. It says their influences were not from Walt, but from whatever was currently popular with Gen Z and millennials, which was anime. uh, One veteran animator described the new hires as having open disdain for the quote old white guys. Comments veterans made during creative meetings were met with snarky replies by the youngsters. In a moment of entitlement, one young female POC said after a note session, "They won't listen to my ideas." So they get hired uh, when they shouldn't have been hired, and then they obviously have a chip on their shoulder because of that. Oh God, this is terrible. They deserve all of this. I mean, they brought this on themselves of like, uh, ugh. As the new young artist activists began being hired, their behavior was emboldened. Jesus. Oh God. These like the toxicity of the Tumblr and Reddit forums now invaded all of Disney animation. These new activist recruits were being groomed to be office bullies that were encouraged to expose inappropriate office culture behavior and report it to HR. They were spies were everywhere in the office, and you didn't know who was listening to your conversation or where they were lurking. God. Soon there was an effort to root out infidels. All meetings opened with the gentle encouragement that this is a safe space. It meant everyone was free to talk over any issues and be heard. One source told me that no one over 40 would say anything to avoid heat from the crybabies existing in a safe space, which turned into a public lecture or reprimand about racism or misogyny. If your crime was especially horrible or perceived that way, you were forced to take sensitivity courses to keep your job and become an ally. All right, so this is great. I mean, I would have quit. I don't care if it's Disney. You know what I'm saying? You know, give a fuck. Ugh, man. Um. Oh my god. So I guess okay. So it sounds like somebody they talked to had a. They can't name him because he's anonymous. One artist complained about how fast things were changing and openly questioned the direction woke storytelling was taking on the project he worked on. The questions were not taking well, and he was placed on the shit list. When he wondered why a newly hired, less talented female POC artist was getting the work that he used to get, he had to endure comments about the patriarchy. Knowing his place and his earnest pleas were met with severe repercussions. He did, with a decade of work done for Disney, his work was now being nitpicked to death, criticized more harshly than his female counterparts, and all in an attempt to break his spirit. On one ominous day, one of his female coworkers felt slighted that he was no longer talking to her. The truth is, he was talking to no one. To this narcissist, his silence was interpreted as a microaggression, and a Me Too charge was trumped up against him. The false claim, and then he resigned. Okay. God. What the fuck? Well, if you hire these kind of narcissist people, you know, if you reward, like, here's the problem. Like, we have this society now where we're rewarding like psychotic behavior. Toxic drama queens are getting the position. So yeah, you're gonna have crazy behavior. You're gonna have like passive aggressive, mean girl stuff going on. Jesus Christ, man. There was like, I mean, when I was just in the doing open mics in Philly, there was a couple girls comics or whatever that were like people stayed away from because of this kind of thing. Like one of them, I do remember getting like upset that people were ignoring her. But I mean, yeah, if you're crazy and you know, people will just stay away. Like this, people are scared. Maybe less now, I hope. Like I'm hoping these stories are from like years ago. I don't know. But I mean, if AI can replace those people, I mean, good. I'm not for AI, but you know, it's crazy stuff, man. Just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. And like you know, there's now like I guess there's that Madam Web movie out that got really bad reviews, and like you know that and the Marvels, like they just want to keep like pushing female superheroes, and they're making all these female superhero movies. Like there's all this backlash because they're making it a thing that they're women. Like if they would just be like, hey, it's I don't know, a mixed cast or whatever, like men, women, whatever, like the Avengers. Nobody's gonna have like you are gonna have a backlash where people go, yeah, well, women can't make superhero movies now. You will have a backlash saying that, even though it's probably not true. Like that's why it happens. That's why we're all fighting about whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, man, shit. Like, what the fuck, dude? The Fuck, bro. Yes,
I've been watching the show True Detective, like the season 1. Everybody talks about like, oh, it's like the greatest show ever. And I haven't finished it yet. I only have a couple episodes left though. But I basically think it's like, well, I talked about it before. Like, I kind of didn't know if I could keep watching it because Matt McConaughey's character annoyed me a lot at first because like he's like this detective that it's like, oh, he's like he doesn't play by the rules, man. He's like an edgy alcoholic guy, but he's like so cool or whatever. That makes him cool, That's kind of how it started out. But I don't know. I don't know about that. 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 Yeah, Matthew McConaughey. I just drink all the time. Yeah. Yeah, no, don't play by the rules. Don't play by the rules, Yeah, all right, all right. Yeah, and like I don't know, like, I guess I got past it because the show doesn't, I mean, it does get better. Like, if you watch the first episode especially, maybe the first couple, I was like, oh God. Because I thought they were trying to make him look cool, like a badass. Like, oh, he hates everybody. He's a misanthrope and he's a cynical alcoholic guy, but it's cool that he's like that because everybody acts like that online, or some people. I've seen some people act that way about him, but the show actually does show like, okay, these characters are like messed up. Um, and they I will say like they face consequences. That's the good thing about this show. Like, I still like, yeah, I'm not at the end. I have like 2 episodes left. I still kind of think it's a little overrated, but I've seen a lot of shows like, I don't know, like, I guess I don't get the like, oh, it's the best TV ever made. Like, I guess I don't see that, I guess. Like, um, I don't know. I guess I don't really see that. I guess like, I mean, yeah, I guess Matthew McConaughey's acting is good. I mean, because he shows how the guy evolves. Like, he starts out as like this guy who's kind of uh up and down as far as his life. Like, he's normal, then he's like a drunk, then he gets normal again, and then by the end he's just like totally just messed up, like he's just a drunk at the end, he's just whatever. I guess that's cool to have in one season. And like, there's this one episode where he like he goes undercover and like they run around, and it looked like Grand Theft Auto almost. It was like something like that. And I guess I saw they shot it all at one big long take. Like, he ran around the town like dodging cops and all this stuff. Like, that was a really cool episode. And the guy's evolution, I guess, is really cool. Like, but still, like that whole like no, I'll just I don't know. I just I'm just a drunk. I just drink and I just know everything. I'm a detective that knows everything. Um, but he is like complex. He's a complex character, which shows should do, and a lot of shows now. Well, it does have a lot of the things that annoy me with HBO shows, which is lots of random sex scenes. Although it does make sense, I guess, in this first season. I know the other. I haven't seen the other seasons really. I know they aren't supposed to be as good as this one. But I'm just making Matthew McConaughey. I just do my own thing, and I just quote deep stuff. You know what I mean? I probably can't show clips of it, but maybe I'll try to play audio of Detective. I'm True Detective. Life is stupid, you know what I mean? I don't believe in God, nothing. I just drink, whatever. Like I said, I don't do it in person, so don't judge me for my terrible. I'm trying to do it again, play audio, but not. See, I may just I don't know. Like, what's the point of me even doing this podcast on YouTube? Maybe I'll just have it on Rumble. I don't know. I just hate all the restrictions on YouTube. Here we go. That's Matthew. See him right there. That's him right there. Season 1. Rust is my name. It's Rust. I smoke. He smokes, guys. How badass is that? Now, look, I did hate the show at first. The first episode, I was like, what the fuck? But I know it's because, I thought they were going to make him a certain way. Like, oh, he's the cool guy. But it's really a lot more complex than that. So give it a chance, guys, if you're me and you almost quit after the one episode. Hold on. So I know there's a new season, but that's what I'm not talking about. Talking about Matthew McConaughey. Wait, how did I do this before? Yeah, I think I'd have to. Oh, that's a funny scene. There's one scene where Matthew McConaughey's character just he goes over and mows his lawn because he borrowed the lawnmower, and he just goes over and mows the lawn. And Woody Harrelson's guy is pissed off. He's like, "That's my lawn. Don't you dare mow my." It's like a kind of boomer thing to be really upset about. But a lot of once people own a home, they just they get upset over the weirdest shit. Well, it's not that weird, I guess. But they get very anal about oh, he's coming close to my side, my lawn, and then if a neighbor mows your lawn, some guys get upset about that. They're like, "Oh, why'd he mow? Is he trying to say something? Is he trying to fuck my wife? You trying to fuck my wife?" Hold on, maybe I could just not show it, and I'll just play the audio there. Yeah. So this is not. I never know what's gonna get dinged on here, but
Revival ministry, old time religion. You can imagine what Mr. Charisma thought of that.
What do you think the average IQ of this group is, huh? We law the universe.
Have just one beer without needing 20.
People incapable of guilt. The longer you roll, you can't spot crazy pussy. It's my bad, boys. Maybe we got started on the wrong foot there.
I just wanted quotes of him, not scenes. Yeah, yes. I don't even know. I'm just like cool, man. I'm just cool. I smoke, I drink. I don't know. I just fucking smoke.
Man, giant gutter in outer space.
Yeah.
Today, that scene, that is the most fucked up thing I ever caught.
Yeah.
Ask you something. You're Christian, yeah?
No.
No.
What do you got the cross for in your apartment?
It's a form of meditation.
God, it's ironic. I'm a
Uh-huh.
hipster.
I
Yeah.
contemplate the moment in the garden,
Yeah.
the idea of allowing your own crucifixion.
The hell's that even mean?
But
Everybody-
you're not a Christian, so what do you believe?
I believe that people
so-
shouldn't talk about this type of shit at work.
Hold on. 3 months we've been together. I get nothing from you. Today, what we're into.
Yeah, so everybody like acts like they just say his quotes like, dude. His quotes are fucking sick, dude. Maybe I'll just look up quotes that he says. Yeah, it's like nihilism and just like, I mean, all that stuff is like so. I guess at the time when this show was first on, it was like not an out like overdone, but now it's just so like it's like boring to me. It's like, all right, I get it. He hates everything. He's an atheist. Like that's just so overdone now. Like I'm like always going the other way. Like when things are too pushed and everybody's doing it, I'm always like, oh, enough of it, Like the woke stuff, I'm like, all right, enough of this. Now, if the conservative people came back in popularity and everybody was going to church again, I'd be like, all right, enough of this. And I'd be like, maybe thinking this guy's cool or something. Maybe I'd be like, yeah, that's how to, But all this stuff is just like, all right, I get it, Everybody was all about nihilism for a while. Like, yeah, like on Tumblr. Like I was reading that thing about Tumblr. I was on Tumblr before and like I tried to put like write comedy stuff on there. Nobody went to there for comedy, Everything on there when I had an account back in, I don't know, 2012 or something, I don't know. It was like all like suicide ideation. Like it was just like extremely emo, like, but not even emo. It was just like, I want to die. Sometimes I think I should die, cut my wrist. It was like all disturbing. It was weird. It was really weird. It was like, I mean, I knew emo before that though, because, when I went out on Tumblr, it was like emo was done with. But this was just like all like people talking about like, I can't ever leave my room. Like I have no energy. I'm like sad. I want to die and kill myself or whatever. And that was just everything on there. And that's where Disney hired from apparently. I hate all these lists of stuff when you want to find stuff and it's like the 10 greatest and it's like I don't know. Just see, I hate these lists. It's never stuff I want to see too. It's always just like whatever. See, this is all just I mean, he's a character. Literally, the only thing you need to know about this guy, he's basically like a do what thou wilt guy. Like he would be like a Anton LaVey supporter. It's like hedonism and nihilism. That's it. Now, I don't know if he's for hedonism but he kind of gives into it. Like he's just like, fuck it, I don't care. He's basically like a nothing matters. God's not, I'm an atheist. people are terrible, like, so might as well give in and be an alcoholic, I guess. That's his whole philosophy to me. Might as well, like, who cares? Like, everything sucks. And I get to that. I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm a cynical person too, like, but I guess I draw the line. Like, I try not to be, is the thing. Like, I'll get there. I'll get to this mentality when I'm, like, depressed or something, but, like, I don't really like being like that. Like, I don't even want to, like, when I feel like that depressed, I don't even want to, like, really give my thoughts on things like this. Like, it would be like this when I'm, like, in a bad mood or super cynical. Like, I would be thinking this way, but I just wouldn't be, like, putting it out there, like, thinking it's something people need to hear, because it's just negative, like, cynical. It's like to the 100th degree cynical stuff. So I understand, like, the thing is about this show, um, I guess, like, there's a deeper meaning that I'm not getting with the two characters, Woody Harrelson and his character. Like, Woody Harrelson, his character is like, he's like, oh God, this Rust guy, Matthew McConaughey. I can't stand that he's like this. But then he's really flawed too, because he keeps cheating on his wife, and that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Like, one of the best quotes in the show was, I named this stream was I'll s- you know he's talking to this. So, spoilers in the next 30 seconds. Spoilers. Fast forward the next 30 seconds if you don't want to hear. But so his wife, you know, at one point takes the kids, goes away, leaves a note. That whole thing. He comes home and he sees that his wife left a note because she was told by his, what's that called, mistress, I guess. The girl that he's cheating with, who's this young girl that works at the police office. So he's a cop, detective, whatever. He's cheating with this stenographer girl, and she told his wife because he was like a nutcase with, I don't know, it's this whole thing. But so she tells his wife, because she's mad at him. She tells his wife everything, and that's when his wife leaves the note and leaves. And he tries calling his wife, and then he calls the girl, his mistress, and she's like, "Fuck you! You think you can do whatever you want, whatever." And then when he hangs up the phone, he's like my favorite quote of the whole show. He goes, "I'll skull fuck you. I'll skull fuck you, bitch." And it's just like a crazy quote. It's just so funny, like, to say that. I don't know, like, I can't, like, what a weird thing to say, like, that they wrote in the show. I mean, to say I'll skull, like, what? Um, so I don't really know if I understand his character, honestly. I think he's supposed to be like a scumbag, I guess. Like, he is supposed to be a hypocritical guy. Um, I don't know. I haven't got to the end yet, like I said, but I guess it's like, okay, so McConaughey's character is like a guy who's basically also a scumbag, but like knows he is, and it just gives in to being a. But I also think the show kind of shows like, oh yeah, cops are probably going to be fucked up if they have seen all this. Like, they'll probably have a drinking problem. I think that's probably normal. Um, if you have seen the stuff that's in the show, it would probably almost be weird to not have some kind of addiction or something. But so the thing is, he's a scumbag in the show, and a lot of shows where they have affairs, I don't like. I'm like turned off by if they don't have consequences. But in this show, they do. Um, it's a norm. It's like the characters are fucked up, but it does show that they are like it's not. It's not glamorizing. It's definitely not glamorizing. Which is what I was worried at first. That's why I didn't want to. I was like, oh, brother, there's another show where it's just like, there's no consequences, whatever. But, yeah, it's not. It's definitely not glamorizing it. But so here's some of the quotes that like, dude, he's so edgy. He's an edgy atheist. Like, I'm just like, look, I'm not against. Okay, if you're an atheist or whatever, I'm not. I'm neither an atheist nor am I a Christian person, really. I know people, some people think being agnostic is like, oh, you're just like not wanting to commit to something. I don't know. Some people think, I don't know, whatever. I don't care. But to me, it's weird to not be that way. Like, if you're not um religious, it's weird to me to say I know that there's nothing there. I'm an atheist, so I know there's nothing. Like, that's crazy to me. Guys like Ricky Gervais say that, who I really like, but I just don't get that, I guess. And I just think this character is so, depressed or whatever, that he inflicts that on everyone. I mean, that's what the Woody Harrelson guy points out a lot too. So here's some of his best quotes here, guys. Oops. There's no such thing as forgiveness. People just have short memories. You gotta get together and tell yourself stories of. There's no such thing as forgiveness. People just have short memories. Yeah, you might be right about that. And this is his quote about religion. You gotta get together and tell yourself stories that violate every law of the universe just to get through the goddamn day. What's that say about reality? Let's see. So he just, I don't know, it's like he thinks he's a sage or something. Place is like somebody's memory of a town, and the memory is fading. It's like there was never anything here but jungle. Life's barely long enough to get good at one thing, so be careful what you get good at. That's kind of a good point, actually. I sure hope that old lady was wrong about death not being the end of it. Maybe the honorable thing for our species to do is deny our programming, stop reproducing, walk hand in hand into extinction, one last midnight. Brothers and sisters opting out of a raw deal. So I agree with Woody Harrelson's character a lot when he says, like inflicting his misery on everyone, like, because he's just like a depressed, cynical guy, and like him saying all this stuff, it's like, all right, that's because you've been, I don't know, maybe something's done wrong with him. But I am a cynical guy, but I just don't go to the point of where I'm like, we should all die. We should all just die. Nobody should be religious because I'm not. Because I think there's no God, so nobody should think there is one. Nobody should be happy because I ain't happy. I don't know how he does that. How does he do that? That fucking voice all the time. Where it's like I'm kind of talking barely. I'm kind of mumbling, but I'm also talking like this. Time is a flat circle. Everything we've ever done or will do, we're going to do over and over and over again. That's kind of like the Battlestar Galactica show. Sometimes I think I'm just not good for people, that it's not good for them to be around me or wear them down. They get unhappy. I don't know. When did that point like start where like atheism was like atheists, dude, are fucking. It's like a worship of atheism. It's like, I guess because religion was just pushed a lot, back in, I don't know, pre the 60s. And then it became like, oh, atheism, dude. Anybody who said any kind of quote that was like, God ain't real because listen, Marty. Listen, Marty. I'm deep because I talk like this and I'm an atheist. That makes me deep, Marty. But like I said, I mean, it does show the complexity of these characters. They're not, when did that happen? Like, I guess it's kind of faded by now, where every atheism, like everybody was like, oh, atheist, dude. Now, like, people are almost gonna kind of going back to religion because the woke stuff, maybe, or like, COVID. That was weird to me. Like, that almost made me go, should I go back to church? Because the fact that they shut down every church, like, and not Walmart. Like, yeah, you can have virtual church. That's fine. Like, that is weird that they took away the right to go to church during, like, I mean, you could have just enforced the distancing at first or something. I don't know. That was weird because I know that, like, every tyrannical country, once there's a tyrant, they take away religion because they want you to worship them, like Mao and like Stalin and stuff like that. And once I read that, I was like, oh, see, the COVID stuff is weird. The fact that they closed churches, like, why do you think the Jewish people in New York here dug those tunnels? I did believe, like, people thought, like, oh no, that they made that up. I mean, no, they probably did do something like that because the Hasidic Jewish people here, like, are very extreme. They look like they're not from this century. Like, they are going to worship no matter what. Like, they probably did dig those tunnels for that reason. I mean, it's crazy that they did it, but, Rust. When did that happen? Like, the rise of the. I mean, I would say probably the 60s started it. How America lost its religion. I mean, I would say it's on its decline now. I have to be honest. Like, if I'm going to be honest, yo, I think atheism is waning a little bit now. I'm just going to say that because of the fact, again, the pandemic, the woke stuff going crazy. 3 decades ago, America lost its religion. Why? Why is that? You guys ever think of that? And I can't read it. Alrighty. So this was 2016. Oh, God. Does anybody actually sign up for any of these websites that block you? You gotta pay. Okay, I'm not going to. Oh, I guess there was something called New Atheism. Oh, here we go. Global trends in religiosity and atheism. Is there some kind of... Oh, USA. Damn it. Oopsies. China has the biggest proportion of atheists. Well, that's because it's like not allowed there because they have a dictatorship, basically. That's what I'm saying, guys. Everybody who hates religion, think of the fact that, like, if we had a dictator who would ban it. That is weird. I mean, I'm not somebody who goes to church. Like, it did really annoy me growing up. Like, I just don't like any group of anything. I just don't like any community. I'm just like Matthew McConaughey. I'm just do my own thing. I'm not good on people. Okay, all right. What if he said that in everything he was in? All right. Let's see here. What's this? Oh, wait. See, I wish there was... Why doesn't it let me, like... Okay, this is the world. It says atheism from 1980. The world. World excluding China. There we go. That's a good one. Oh, see, it's actually waning, like I thought. From 1980 on, atheism looks like it went up a little bit in 2005, and now it's kind of downtrending again. Non-practicing religious has gone up. Interesting. I guess it stayed, no, it did go down. Practicing religious has gone down since 1980, but it stayed basically the same level. So it hasn't really been as much as people think. Okay, North America. That's not a good chart though. Let me just try to zoom in on this one. North America, atheist went way up in. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. From like not 2000 up, from 2000 on, atheism has gone just a steep curve up. But I feel like it's going to go down. I mean, this goes only till 2020. Well, yeah, practicing religious in North America from 2000 on, huge nosedive. Yeah, so in America, everybody's a Matthew McConaughey. In True Detective. Ain't no God, man. Come on, Marty. Ain't no God. Everybody telling us all this stuff. I say whatever I want. I do what I want. Fuck you. I do what I want.
Now, do me a courtesy, okay? I'm not trying to convert you.
Look, I'd consider myself a realist, all right? But in philosophical terms, I'm what's called a pessimist.
Okay, what's that mean?
Means I'm bad at parties.
Let me tell you, you ain't great outside the parties either.
Sensory experience and feeling. Programmed with total assurance that we are each somebody. When in fact, everybody's nobody.
I wouldn't go around spouting that shit I was you. People around here don't think that way. I don't think that way.
I think the honorable thing for our species to do is deny our programming. Stop reproducing. Walk hand in hand.
This was like the first episode, I think. Yeah, while doing that, walk hand in hand.
Look, I'd consider myself friends for the rest of your life. That you'll
Why they have to add music? God. Just go ahead, kill yourself. Just do it. Wouldn't it be great in a suicide hotline? Hey man, I'm going through some hard. Yeah, just do it. Just do it. Why even bother? Wow, it's good. It's good that our steep curve atheism or religious. Yeah, no one's religious. Look at that. I mean, I don't know what kind of units they are. Just some random chart here. All right, I can't read any articles now. Everybody is paywalled. Everyone. Man, I thought it would have been going down a little bit, but geez. It's like It's got to be like, I don't know. I mean, I thought COVID would change it a little, but I guess not. I don't even know. Religion, you don't need to tell yourself a fairy tale to go to sleep every night. Well, that's great. What does that say about you? You need a fairy tale to go to sleep. What does that say about you, Marty? Huh? But yeah, so I'm glad the show did have consequences for these scumbag cheating guys. Like, I had problems with the show Mad Men because of how often he cheated and was a scumbag. I mean, he did have I guess consequences, but like it did kind of romanticize a lot of that. Like it really did. But it kind of played it off like that was how things were. You know. There was also a scene in it. Again, spoilers. But there was also a scene where the Woody Harrelson's wife in the show does stuff with Matthew McConaughey and to get back at Woody Harrelson, like the most immature shit ever. But you kind of see why she did it because he's such a scumbag. Like, and she's like, "Thank you." She like just really quick. They do stuff and then she like leaves, and Matthew McConaughey's like pissed at her because he knows that she just did it for that reason. And then the thing I was thinking was why did she like it felt a little crazy, like, because she could have just lied, right? I mean, I don't understand why she didn't just lie and make Woody Harrelson crazy. Like, she could have just lied and said, "Hey, I fucked your partner," and like just had a straight face and just lied. Like, did she really? She didn't need to, unless maybe in her head she wanted to do it that much because she was that mad, I guess. But she could have just lied, you know. But again, he did cheat like a bunch. I don't know. I don't know how people do that. Like, it doesn't make any sense to like, oh, I can't help. I mean, the show has young women, like, meaning like, in their 20s, throwing themselves at Woody Harrelson's character, like, and I'm like, you might think, oh, that's kind of ridiculous, but the fact he's a cop and has the badge and he's like this authority, I could see young women doing that. Like, oh, he's like a cop, like, I don't know. That I think women like a lot, and I could see that happening. I just think he just there's no reason he needed to do it like more than once, that's for sure. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Um yeah, but it does have consequences at least. It's not one of those shows where I don't know. I mean, HBO shows now for some reason have male nudity like all the time for no reason. Like just cocks for no reason. They're just showing like Game of Thrones. Also, this show Chernobyl did for no like just nude men going into a mine. If you want to see that, go ahead and check those shows out. Anyway, that's all. That's all I wanted to say, Marty. So, why listen to this episode? Why do that when you could just like walk hand in hand, just opt out of a raw deal? Yeah, Marty, I got vocal fry. Yeah, I guess he doesn't, but it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know, why bother, Just go to church, like, you gotta think of a sky God just to get through the day. What's that say about your life, Marty? I'm a pessimist, I guess. I don't know, people don't like me. Why not just be an alcoholic piece of shit? Why not? I mean, that's a good excuse to give yourself. Like, hey, life sucks, so like, why not be a drunk? Why not, It is good he didn't on the show have, like kids that he was a scumbag with. He just was like that, but
Anyway, yeah, check out the show, guys. And also filmthreat.com. The D file. He's gonna keep posting
new articles about that. So keep following that, guys. Just keep following that, Marty. Now this voice is gonna be in my head now. Well, yeah, why don't you just lay there? Why bother? Just walk hand in hand. Yeah, no need to think of no sky god like you do. I'm better than you because I don't believe in no god. No god. Atheism is cool. Everybody in NG. Yeah. Anyway, stay tuned. Watch next week. And yeah, Guyver's Room is brought to you by skullf. Bitch.